All right, thank you, everybody. And this segment is brought to you by Benzinga. We have Benzinga in our ear right now. Thank you for staying late as traders stay late. And once again, this is your market recap show. And we're sitting here waiting, man. I mean, as soon as UD comes out, as Neil just mentioned, we just went slightly red here on the triple Qs there into the close. I mean, I don't know who was calling shorts. We were short 7 names there into the afternoon. And how low did Meta go? Right, let's just see, because here we go. We were trading Meta, and welcome to everybody. We'll do a little bit of a roll call here as well. What's up, Ponzi and everybody else? There goes Meta right there into the close. So we actually got a decent price down there at 481. Let's check back in on NVIDIA, 790 close as well. We have all the news coming through my ear right now. If I do hear anything about Unity, we'll have that for you. The other name that we're looking for, as you can see on the board right now, Workday and Zoom. So we'll wait for both of those names to come out very soon, hopefully. But yeah, welcome, man. What a big day it was. You can see on the top of the board, I don't remember the last time we had Bitcoin leading the way today. I'm looking at IBIT up here, up 6.7%. The Bitcoin starting to go. I'm not going to keep this in my ear. You guys just let me know if and when. I'll look down here to see when Unity's out and so on and so forth. As it looks like there's Zoom right now. Zoom trying to go back up to the upside. And again, we'll be trying to check this all out on the Benzinga Newswire. As soon as I see different names start to fly through here, we will do our best to get that to you immediately. That's going to be Zoom right now, making a move up to 64, but I don't see anything yet on the Benzinga Newswire. So as soon as that does come through, we will get that for you. Benzinga with Zoom, but does look like right now Workday's out. EPS 157 beating 147 with inline sales right now for W Day. So let's go have a quick little look at that one. It's starting to head back down. So nice little daily chart, man. Workday, wow, really getting the nice moves to the upside. Watch out for Salesforce and things like that, possibly this week. We talked about that with Danielle Shea, but Workday falling down a little bit, 310, making the moves back in there for Workday as that is now out. So there it is right there. Looks like sales 192 in line, but here it is right here. Just popped in. You saw it live. Workday FY25 revenue guidance 7.725 coming in, I'm guessing slightly under as the move starts to happen right now for W Day. So that is now out. We'll have a quick look at that, but hey man, ain't no stopping us now. If you didn't watch the podcast, you're bad, right? We talked about that Bitcoin was my call. Brendo asked me at the end, what kind of stocks are we talking about? We liked Bitcoin, man. Here goes Bitcoin ripping back up to the upside, goes BTC and still going. So taking out 53 and change, watching out for 54.5. It looks like the high right now, this is on Binance, ticked up to 54.9 right now. I do want to talk to Michael Noss a little bit here about Bitcoin. We were talking about possibly a sideways move. He analyzed for us last time MSTR, and we just found out that MicroStrategy just bought, what, 30 more Bitcoins or something like that? I'll find out the number for you, but average price was 51.8. We all thought that might have been a little bit much. Hold on a second, I got to log into Twitter to find out these prices exactly. But we do have Michael Noss coming. We are going to talk about a sector that's breaking out as well. We teased that for you. I didn't give you the ETF. Let me make sure it's even on my list over here as we go. The actual one that he wants to talk about is not, but I do have another one that is very similar on here as well. But there goes MSTR right now. Look at that. I know Michael talked about this. It's a nice breakout back up above 800 right now today. And congratulations to anybody on the Bitcoin train. We also had Ethereum, ETHE, the grayscale. I mean, boom. We actually were buying this one down here near 20 bucks. We talked about the great rotate. Is that a thing, the great rotate? I may have just made that up. But going from Bitcoin into Ethereum, both definitely working right now. You didn't have to rotate out of anything. But again, the discussion was about the ETF starting to climb through that. So we'll wait to see. Is anything else out right now? Let's go back over to Zoom to see if that's out. ZM with a nice move up to $68. Let's see if there's anything. I'm not seeing anything on that one. And then, of course, we want Unity. I got to take a sip of this. Unity up to 35. Hydration Nation in the building. Man, that tastes so nice right there. Okay, so what was down today? All right, look, XLU. This is a little sucky because utilities, again, we did hear some rumors today. It was an analyst talking about pushing out the Fed rate hike, rate decrease into November, rate hike, hopefully we don't hike anymore, into November near the end of the year, maybe making utilities a little less attractive. So we did have that report come through. And again, anything that's maybe, you know, if you think that you can get 4, 5, 6% on T-bills or something like that, might not be worth sitting in some of these utility names, as they primarily will pay back in a dividend form and not have too much growth potential to them, value type of things on that one. So we'll have to watch out for XLU. Oh, you know what, Mr. Noss? I see him waiting in the green room as well. Can we talk a little bit about what your opinion here is on Barrick Gold? Because I know we've had some questions here. You and I have talked about Barrick. It was looking pretty good for a good trade up there. The thing is, and I know Michael will talk mainly just about technicals, but if you see Barrick Gold down here, we're at some nice lows. If I even go over to potentially a weekly chart here, I'll have to zoom back out for this one just to see. So right there, that bottom's $12 there on the weekly. It looks like we had a split action there that's not being covered there. But down to $12.14. The reason why this is interesting to me is that it's moving opposite here of gold. So maybe we keep our money into gold and not go into the underlying asset group, including equity names, right? So Barrick Gold, something underneath there. Maybe we'll talk to Michael if he's heard anything. But gold holding out okay, but Barrick Gold downside. So find out some value in that. I want to ask Michael about that name coming through as well again. All right, another interesting name here as we still wait for earnings. Zoom is out right now, bang. Let's go over to Zoom. I did want to look at utilities quickly and the banking in China, but it does look like Zoom is out. So right here, off of Benzinga, here's the number. Zoom video, 142 beating 115. So that's looking pretty good. Sales slightly on the beat as well. Looks like by 200 billion, or 200 million, 1.15 into 1.13 billion. So Zoom right now looking pretty healthy on the top and bottom, but we'll find out about the guide right now for Zoom. So we're probably going to hear that Kathy Wood came in and bought a little bit of Zoom. So we'll find out about that today. Damn, man. My wife says these long eyelashes are a blessing. I say they're a curse, always getting in my way from seeing everything. I can see clearly now, the eyelashes are gone. Please never let me sing again. Get a lash lift. Oh my God, how much money my family spends on these stupid things. The last thing I need is something like that. Well, I mean, you need some Botox in these cheeks or what too, Ramin? What are you trying to say? All right, here we go. Zoom also right now. Adjusted EPS, 118. Yeah, like, I don't know what a lash lift is. I'm just repeating what Ramin is saying there. Okay, so 118. Nice little Q3 as well. Q1 adjusted EPS right there. 118 to 120 versus 113. That seems good. So I don't really know what the problem is here with ZM, as there it is, man, no problem, as now we are starting to go. So it's a nice, really nice move up here for Zoom, fighting off the bottom with a nice move back up to the upside. So that's a banger right there. Looks like we reported that accurately. Zoom beats on the top and the bottom, and now a guide forward into Q1. We'll wait to see. They may not be guiding full year on ZM. So the other name we wanted to look at was Workday. We talked, that one was going the other way. Workday, yeah, holding out for it right now, down under 300, trying to hold out. Oh, and the other one was Unity. I don't think we have Unity yet. So let me say what's up with the chat. Are you guys saying that we have a chat? We have Unity right here. I just saw someone say, hey, what's up, Eric? Nice host. Thank you. Appreciate that. Nice viewers we have. And we're about Unity to the downside. Okay, what's up, Starvin? Starvin Marvin is here right now. Starvin like right here, downside for Unity. It looks like we are getting a downside push. I don't have the numbers, and unfortunately, I'm using the Benzinga platform. And last week, it was actually funny. Was it a firm? I forget. Something was coming out, and it was about Carvana, I think it was. And it was bouncing around. I wasn't seeing it on here, and it wasn't actually out yet. So I'm going to trust that. It may or may not be out. That is Unity coming through right now. Okay, I want to look at FXI. We had some banger. Earnings are not out. Yeah, so I don't know. I am reading the chat. I'm going to be there for you on Unity if and when. This is a one-man and woman pony show right now, so we'll wait for that. FXI, we talked about this one, and this is another Michael Noss one, man. We talk about FXI all the time. These Chinese names, trying to find that bottom. And look at this, man. Zoom out. Zoom there. Okay, there it goes. All right, there it is. Look at that bottom. Nice bottom at 20 bucks. We talked about that. Try to buy some of those dips. We looked at Alibaba. I really like Alibaba off 72. We recently bought some Alibaba down there at 72. We really like the revenue streams there, the sales. There's nothing wrong with Alibaba. They're also getting into more and more share buybacks. They announced a 25 billion share buyback valuation there on Alibaba. Plus, they're just reporting bigger and better numbers. I like Alibaba off of 72 bottom. FXI holding for it as well. Hey, if Alibaba can clear 80 bucks, man, giddy up on that one. That should be a banger right there for that. Long on Shawn's eyelashes. Thank you so much for that one as well. All right, Qs, we talked about that. We had Danielle Shea on talk a little bit about options. She's still pretty bullish. She not called, but was saying that there was ideas of NASDAQ up there to 18.4. I'm down for that, for sure. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I feel like this market is still, and I know there's lots of breadth. I mean, we could talk about, I mean, look at XLF. And I know we were down today on XLF, but this name, the financials, still highs, right? I mean, look at the weekly chart. We've broken away on XLF, right? So now you're trying to come back into these weeklies. We'll see if we can bounce here or break them out. But I mean, we talk about breaking away. This is a weekly chart on the XLF. I think there's one red week in there. So, I mean, it's not just a Mag 7 or a chip heavy story. Obviously, when you're going to look at something like SMH and the NASDAQ, you see that we are well away from some of the highs here on the SMH. Doesn't mean that there's other sectors that won't play catch up. And we do have something with that coming up right now in 1 minute. I'm going to call it to Michael Noss, but I haven't asked if he's ready yet. He is ready. Okay, so we're going to get Michael Noss in just a couple seconds. I do want to make sure that we do have Unity earnings again before I go over there. So Unity's down to 28 bucks. I'm not sure if there's anything popping on that yet for that. I do want to talk about one more play, and I don't need Michael for this one because I just traded my own book here. Okay, I like Palo Alto. We always talk about macro here as well. Although when you're looking at charts, that's going to be great to give you indicators for potential areas of interest. Whether or not you buy or sell at those areas is completely up to you. So that's why I look at the macro side of things. We talked about Google being down 4% today. Well, if you like the story of YouTube basically taking over everybody's life, then Google might be a story. If you like the story about 1 in every 1.3 people having a Gmail account, you may like the Google story. If you like what's happening in the cloud, you may like that story. But either way, you're down a little bit. Look at PanW. I like the 200 period. So there it is. PanW falls right into this. Obviously, they did have a little bit of a miss on their guide, but punished, fell down in. We're a buyer down there. We buy PanW on that 200 period. You know what? I see Michael Noss is loading up PanW. So let me go ask this guy about that. It's Trader Talk, and we're starting right now. We're good over here. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
You know, it's always going pretty good around here. I don't know if you can tell. We're always in a pretty good mood here. And that's because trading is our life, Michael. And I know you and I both would choose nothing other than what we're doing. We love this. I love Palo Alto Networks. That was a good bounce off the 200 period. Is there something I'm missing here? Does it look like a good recovery? Or do we sell and take advantage of some of this pop that we just saw in PanW?
Yeah, I was bringing it up when you were talking about it in the green room there, and that is almost to the tick on the 200 day. It's very rare that you see something work that well. When I see something like that, I personally think, that's not a bunch of retail players that are defending a moving average like that. If that is some type of algo or institution that decide to put their foot on the gas the second that hits. So I think your trade here, if it was me, is pretty simple at this point. If you lose that low right there, it's probably time to move on. If you hold that, I think you've gotten a great little trade out of it.
All
I
right.
was shocked actually with such a big and profitable company to see nearly 5% of the float is short. So I wonder if that had something to do with it. If there were some people making a bet that this sell-off would happen, and now they're covering and moving on with their lives.
They're just so there's such a growth. Like their PE is still it was over like 95 when they reported, so it did have to get hit to the downside there, as it's a big growth stock, definitely not a value stock over there. All right, you were on here a couple times before. Just hold on quickly. Brendan has messaged me. I believe we do have Unity is out, so come over to the screen right now. We'll have a look at Unity. Michael, maybe you can have a quick look at it on your platform as well. Unity 28 down to 29 and change. Unity software right now loses 60 cents a share versus 82. So it's a better on that. Q4 revenue 609 versus 551 for Unity. That's better as well. But then maybe potentially to the downside sees Q1 strategic portfolio revenues 415 to 420 right there for Unity. So again, not on my Benzinga platform, but I just wanted to talk about that. So anything surprising you there with Unity on the charts here, Michael? Because to me, we're just kind of not even at support yet. I mean, if we want to talk about 28 here, maybe, but on a name that's over 20%, I believe it's 20% short. Well, you have it up there right now. 11% short on Unity. Let's find out anything interesting at some of these levels that our traders may want to play off of with Unity software.
Yeah, we got to get your chart updated over there so you can have the short float on them as well. But if you come to my chart right here, what I'm looking at is, so we've added this right here that shows whatever percentage gain for however long you're looking at.
Oh,
This
okay.
chart in the lower left for me is always a monthly chart because I want a really good broad view of what's going on. And then I look at the monthly chart and we all kind of know what happens with Unity. It IPO'd at 2020, 2021, so it followed a lot of those IPOs. And now it's just stuck in this giant base down nearly 69%
Wow.
from its IPO. So for me, unless like you were talking about, you want to try to play a support bounce or something, you can go right ahead. But for me, I want to see this base break, and that is all the way up, like almost at $50 before I'm going to get super interested in this name.
Yeah, I don't like some of these. I was actually thinking about like, as far as buying names on some of these dips, it's like these are great names to trade and they might be excellent for the options market or for some quick little intraday swings. We saw Rivian crack through or get close enough to $10 and then a nice little bounce. It doesn't mean that we're buying Rivian down there at $10 in our long-term portfolio, but you do get some relief rallies. And actually, you nailed, actually bang on that. You talked about that. I forget what you said, short. There was some sort of a sentence there where it was like a trap when some of these shorts go to the downside there, and then all of a sudden you get a huge move, and then just a bounce right back up. What was that, short no go? I know you have the thing with trade ideas, but there was some kind of a saying there that I really liked that you gave us some examples this morning. What was that?
Oh, the bear trap and the bull trap. So we have failed breakouts and failed breakdowns.
Right,
And
okay.
yeah, that was a lot of what I did today was actually shorting some of those failed breakouts.
Yeah, those are some crazy trades. What about MSTR today? We just talked about IBIT and some of this Bitcoin rally. I just looked at MSTR up to $800. Crazy. We actually found out more news today that they had added to their Bitcoin, well, I guess to their assets by buying more Bitcoin. And then you get a huge move up 6% today in IBIT and some of these ETFs. MSTR, though, running into what I thought was a little bit of resistance up at the top. What do you think about MSTR? I almost feel like you take a little bit of profit here, but I guess if you're bullish crypto, maybe you hold on.
So crypto's in a really weird spot where from a sentiment point of view, and I think this MSTR, the chart is close enough to me that it's something I can use to analyze. Everyone in the world thinks that Bitcoin's going to break through its all-time highs and go to 100,000. That seems to be the consensus. And generally speaking, in my experience, the consensus is not always right. So I have no position other than the miners, Coinbase, and a little bit of Mara that I talked about
Yep.
a couple weeks ago when I was here. So I'm just riding those, and I'm happy with the price action that has. But what I'm watching for is what if we don't? So when the consensus is right, there's really nothing to do with that. When everyone's right and hey, we're going to break through new all-time highs, and
Right.
8 pitchers are going to be worth $1 million again, uh, that's fine. But then what do you do when that doesn't happen? So I'm looking to see if we start to fail before we hit all-time highs, and we do so in a spectacular way. I will be eyeing the short side, but there's
Okay.
absolutely nothing to show me that right now, and there's really no reason for me to act to the short side yet. So I'm holding some of these crypto miners and exchanges and just enjoying the ride for now, looking for my opportunity to get out.
Yeah, congratulations on some of those calls for Mara. I remember talking to you about that at $10, $11, and that was that whole smiley face all the way down there. And I guess anybody that took that advice is smiling all the way to the bank, Mr. Noss. Great call on Mara for sure. All right. I teased a ETF, potentially a sector. You had messaged me earlier on something that potentially is either breaking out or getting a little top heavy. Let's talk about it right now. The floor is yours, and here we go. The big reveal live here on the recap show, and it is going to be the Biotech ETF. So Mr. Noss, let's go talk a little bit about XBI.
Yeah, so XBI was very interesting to me because these have been a laggard for a period of time, and we're talking biotechs here. So we're talking biotechs when it comes to, not healthcare, not the kind of boring stuff that actually has been doing great. If we go to XLV, XLV has been doing phenomenal for a long period of time. And again, if you look at these monthly charts that I have up in the corner right here, you can see, the breakout took place last month or so on XLV. But if we go over here to XBI, you can see that breakout actually just occurred today. And if we look again in this monthly chart in the bottom, that is to me quite a base breakout. So we talked a little bit, what was it, Udemy? We were talking about Unity. We were
Unity, yep,
talking about, and how I said, hey, you look at the monthly chart, it's still in this base, it's not really interesting. Call me when it's $50. Well, if we look at this same and we kind of compare this same chart on XBI, we are seeing that breakout potentially occurring right now. And how I found it was just these heat maps I have up in the corner. You can see both ARK and XBI are the winners of today. My face is covering the losers, but that's Berkshire Hathaway and utilities.
Yep.
So for me, it's making me think that we potentially are seeing this breakout in biotechs, and it's time to start looking under the hood and see what biotechs start moving. Now, I know a lot of your audience are day traders, and I think this will be great for you guys because when biotechs are moving, these are the fun stocks to day trade, right? No one wants to day trade a Berkshire Hathaway stock. They're generally not that interesting, the Apples, the Googles. So when it comes to seeing this breakout in XBI, that got me excited from a swing trader's point of view. I'm going to look under the hood to see what I can find here. But also from a day trader's point of view, if this breakout is going to continue and we're going to get this increased volatility out of this massive base that went all the way back to the beginning of 2022, I think it's time to load up your scanners, load up your trade idea scanners and point that. And anytime you see a biotech come through, it's going to pique my interest a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought up XLV. If you come over to the charts right here, because we actually had on our first podcast in January, this was the call that we gave, was XLV breaking this top right here, man, 136.50. And since then, it's been off to the races. It did give you another test back into there. But as we know, our population only seems to be getting older. And I don't know if you've seen who's running for president, not that that matters. But maybe there will be some more talk about healthcare and coming through on that one. But yeah, XLU, we talked about that in Berkshire with some nice downside moves. I think these names could be a little bit more interesting, but I like the XLV. The IBB was another one that still has a lot of more upside to go if that does come through. All right, where did he go? No, I don't want to cut. No, he's not, we're not leaving yet. All right, anything else you want to talk about? I mean, let me just come over to my screen. I'll give you one more second here because we got to go over a few more things. Let's just go over Unity one more time, just because there's some traders here looking to see what these are doing here in the after hours. Unity down to $28. Again, looking to hold down near 24, 25. The numbers for Unity, not horrible. Again, and here it is on Benzinga. We talked a little bit about that. Forward revenue 1.6 to 1.8. I don't have any like expected there. There's the gap EPS misses, so minus 60 cents, sorry, misses versus minus 42. So that's bad, but beating on sales. So a little bit of a mixed report for Unity. We'll find out about them later on. Down here hovering around 28. Talk to Mr. Noss at 50, so we'll pass on that. Workday here as well. Continuing to hold, looks like a little bit of a downside move. We'll see if there's any love back for Salesforce, which I really really like. You could see Salesforce, a nice little upside move there, then pulling back just a little bit. Not trying to equate the both of them, but that's something else. And then zooming off, wow, to the races. Wow, okay. So Michael, Zoom is actually starting to go a little bit here as well. But okay, nice move. We'll see Zoom tomorrow. If this takes out $74 tomorrow, I'm going to be a buyer of Zoom. Okay, I see you all locked and loaded over there. It looks like you might want to talk about the spiders or whatever. But Michael, I'm going to give you 2 minutes maximum here as we approach 4:30. So kill us with knowledge here.
Absolutely. So I have both of those charts I want you to take a look at. And again, there's kind of a theme developing here with these monthly charts potentially breaking out of lows. So you mentioned Zoom. I know Kathy with ARK is a big fan of Zoom. So this may cause this ETF to move a little bit tomorrow. And you can see that we had Kathy moving up today and potentially this chart, the monthly chart I have in the bottom, potentially breaking out this long base that again has gone from 2022. And then we contrast that with Uncle Warren. So we have Warren versus Kathy again. And this candle for Uncle Warren to me kind of looks awful, right? You have this big gap up and then this absolute sell-off engulfing a whole bunch of days. Now, I use Kathy as my risk on indicator and I use Uncle Warren as my risk off indicator. We know what both of these people invest in. They are completely polar opposites when it comes to it. So one is looking for growth, the other's looking for value. Today, there was a big win when it came to Kathy over Uncle Warren. So I'm actually going to be looking for that to continue. If we get this move and we get continuation from here, it might be time to take some money off the table from some of the boring stuff, the big cap names that have been doing so fantastic. And again, to continue that XBI theme, look under the hood for what stuff that Kathy likes.
All right, Michael, where can they find you? We have X on there, at Michael Noss, CMT. You doing anything on YouTube these days? Is there a channel you're on?
I'm Michael Noss, CMT everywhere. And also, I know you guys started a podcast. We did one as well over at the Trade Ideas YouTube. So when the stream's done, not before that, but when the stream's done, come over to the Trade Ideas YouTube and check that out.
Perfect. We never want to cross streams, but sometimes it has to happen. Thank you, Mr. Michael Noss. One more time, Trade Ideas and CMT. Go find him everywhere at that handle. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
Talk to you Friday.
Ciao. All right. That's pretty good there. All right. Thank you for all of that. I really like that healthcare look. I can't, we talked about XLV. I'm in that name on that break, in and around that 136, 137 area. So a couple good names there. And I'm in ARK. I have to go find out where. I feel like I'm still down on that. I'll have to go find. Oh, no, I'm in the ARK robotic one. ARK K, is it F? I'll find out more about that and talk to you guys about that tomorrow. All right, let's go over to some tweets. Look, I was screwing out with Gemini today. I thought it was pretty fun. You know what I told it to do? I told it to do a bull in Toronto that's some kind of a stock market theme here. So here's the CN Tower. I have no idea what's on this bull. Like, I don't know why it's... yeah, maybe it's something to do with Toronto here, but that looks like a little bit of an iPhone. And I don't know what's up with some of these dollar signs floating around here. But anyways, I thought this was pretty cool that we did that just floating around. I heard Brendo talk a little bit about, or Sharif, we were talking about Gemini and ChatGPT, so on and so forth. Empty chair. All right, so there's Pan W. I want to talk about this tweet, man. We already talked about that with Michael Noss. Let's go with Pan W. Come over to the screen here a little bit. We'll go over all this as we go. Fabian, one more time. So that's that. And then again, our live dashboard is now open. I want to continue to pump that. And then today, man, my biggest loss today was an NVIDIA break. So we'll review the sticky notes a little bit. I'll go over to next topic. Next topic. Oh, that's previous topic. Hello. Next topic, next topic. There it is. Next topic, sticky note recap. The Amazon long 175 was pretty hot. The Alibaba was really hot as well. Let me just check out Palantir really quickly to see if anything happened, because we forgot sort of look at Palantir later on in the day. I like Palantir, but I'm more of a Palantir kind of catalyst guy. If we ever hear reports of a new contract or upgrades and downgrades, then we tend to look at Palantir. But again, a pretty nice day overall for PLTR. Up 2 and a bit into a, let's go over a 10-minute chart just to see if we have any levels there. So 23 holds, man. 23 holds, that's really cool. If that can come back into tomorrow, we'll look for that. We wrote down 2280. It didn't get into that level, but 2280, a good little level there for Palantir. Look, no matter where you were today, I hope you come back tomorrow. We were killing it with the trades today. Was a little bit of a rough start there with NVIDIA. We ended up huge. Here, you know what? Let me show you ARM just real quick. I was really proud. Okay, so here's, we just talked about NVIDIA. I took the, on NVIDIA, I took the 805 break. We tried to buy 8s as well. We actually took some money early on it, and we were up, and it was all good. Then when it broke down, we actually had about 70 to 80 cents worth of slippage off that level, so that wasn't that great. ARM today, though, was fantastic. Look at all these shorts. Short here, 147. These are outs, 143. You know, short again, and short at the end of the day, 148 out, 145, 146. This was a hell of a lot of fun. This was your #1 P&L name across Trader TV Live, period, today. Do not forget to like and to subscribe. But we ain't done yet because we ain't done this. All right, man, often imitated, never duplicated. Shout out to my guy, Sharif. He tries and does a fantastic job. But this is the original roll call. So let's see who's here, man. I mean, we're not even doing this with a lot of traders today. We didn't have a huge earnings, over 3,000 people watching. Thank you so much for that. We're also live on X right now. Retweet, all of that. But let's find out who's here right now. Streamlabs has been tough today. Thank you so much, Sebastian. You are the best. Thank you so much. Sam is here. Bears vs. Bulls is here. Jacob's here. Alex is here. Mike Breeze. Selzel's here. Maria is here. What's up, Marie? Tom's Trades, you're welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Yannick is here. Thank you for all that. Any members going to get shouted out. Bbot 5000, Alex Davis, Prania, thank you so much. He's here as well. Monty G is here. Odyssey waves his hands. Thank you so much. I like the thumbs up from Skyhawk, who's in the building as well. Che White is here. Neil MacArthur. Tony Q is here as well. Chump Change Trader, what's up? Mr. Love Shack is in the building. Okay, I like that name. Like that name change. Shout out to everybody, including Derek Thompson. We used to have, I don't know what happened, man. Maybe I'm just getting better at this. We used to have an alarm that used to go off and like literally ring and say, that's it, you got to cut the show. But it's 4:33 and traders stay late. And I want to thank all of you for that. Go find me at Trader TV Shawn. Thank you for 45,000. Thank you for 7,100 Instagram viewers. And thank you for the show, over 450,000 subscribers right now on YouTube. We continue to rock it every single day. Make sure you check me out tomorrow at 8:30 live on the big stream. I'm back. It's at Trader TV Live. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Ciao.